it's going to be a hot time in this old town tonight. Let's just hope Lonely Boy and his book don't go up in flames. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Three Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
And tonight we are discussing Season 5, Episode 4, Memoirs of an Invisible Dan. Original air date October 17th, 2011. Written by Amy B. Harris. Directed by no other than Tate Donovan.
Tate!
Yeah.
What a wonderful treat. I didn't even catch that in the credits.
I know you didn't, and I was so excited to tell you that Tate did this episode. He directed. We love a good Tate episode.
We sure do.
A good Jimmy episode.
Yeah,
Boat
always.
Jimmy.
Boat Jimmy
and Hart. If you guys know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Before we get started today, Michelle and I unfortunately have to make another podcast announcement.
A little housekeeping.
Yeah.
So, as you all know, almost a year ago, we rebranded and we became Total Betty Media.
And we loved it.
Right. But then we had to make some changes. So we are no longer Total Betty Media. We are now going as Total Betty Podcast Network.
Yes. So if you're already following us on social media, the change has happened. You probably didn't notice, or maybe you did. But if you aren't already and you want to be following us, follow us at Total Betty Podcast Network on Instagram, Total Betty Pod on Twitter, if that suits you. And our website is now
Patreon.com/Total Betty Podcast Network.
It's lots of words.
So no longer Total Betty Media. Drop the media. We're still Total Betty over here. This is still a Total Betty podcast.
We're still Bettys.
We're still going to have that fun little song when we do our Total Betty of the week, but we are no longer associating ourselves as Total Betty Media.
Yeah, so sorry to confuse you yet again.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It wasn't our choice.
No,
we
it
didn't want to
wasn't.
be sued, so
Right.
we're good, right?
Exactly. There's a little transparency for you.
So we're good. Anyway,
Yes.
we're here to talk about Gossip Girl, Season 5 of Gossip Girl, Episode 4. This was a fun episode. Did you like it?
It was really fun. It's
Okay.
what I wanted, and it was also very predictable of what was to come,
Yes.
especially coming off of last week and going into this week.
Yeah. And I just loved these little like blurbs of the book.
Yeah.
Was really fun, quite comical.
Yeah.
So the summary for the episode is, after much deliberation, Dan decides to reveal the truth about his book in the hopes that his friends and family will support him, but the reactions are definitely not what he hoped. Meanwhile, Blair and Louis hit a roadblock after Louis reads exposing information in Dan's book. Diana learns incriminating information about one of Nate's friends and uses it to her advantage. I mean, is Ivy really Nate's friend? I don't think so.
Well, maybe according to Diana.
Right. Same friend group.
Right.
But that is the summary. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
My glass full of gossip tonight is titled Lonely Boy to Only Boy.
So good, Liz.
It's a quote from Gossip Girl. But we're doing a little show crossover tonight with a cup of Joe, or should I say a cup of Scotty P's mug. Scotty P's mug coffee. Scott Patterson, Luke Dane's Gossip Girl, Gilmore Girls, another GG show.
Yeah.
He came out with his own brand of grade 1 specialty coffee. He always has to say it's grade 1 specialty. So Michelle and I purchased Jamaican Me Crazy. It was very delicious.
It was. I'm so glad we finally got it because we're both big fans of Scott Patterson's podcast.
And coffee.
And coffee and Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls.
And Scott Patterson.
Yeah.
And so when we saw that he had his own coffee line, we're like, obviously.
Yeah. And the title is actually perfect for Jamaican Me Crazy, because I feel like Gossip Girl, they're all a little crazy. They're all making us a little crazy, especially Serena in this episode. We'll get to it. Watching it again for the third time, I was like, wow, Serena. But I can't wait to talk. So my 3 gossip words from last week that I gave Michelle were discovery for Diana with Ivy. Also, Louis finding out about potential sex between Dan and Blair, even though that wasn't what happened. And then inside for the book being released and us seeing inside of the book. and personas for all of Dan's characters, personas, and their different personas or his interpretations of their personas. So I really enjoyed. I would love to have actually read what is in this book.
Does the book continue on?
I'm not sure.
Well, actually, we're not going to jump ahead, but I will put this here. It has to if Serena's boss wants it.
Right. I mean, it's definitely still talked about in next week's episode.
Okay.
Past that, I don't really know how far of an extent, to what extent we get this.
Okay.
But I'm sure for a couple episodes from now, we'll still be talking about the book. But let's talk about Dan first.
Oh,
because this is really his episode.
Yeah.
So as we said, Inside has been released, and the critics are really enjoying it. I don't know why this surprises me. I'm like really surprised that this book is doing so well. It's not believable to me.
Well, it's not believable for me, I think, because of the turnaround.
And the turnaround is so quick.
But the voice of this particular take on the Upper East Side and this particular group of people might be interesting.
Yes. It's just funny that it's Dan. Like, if it was anyone else saying, writing this, regardless if they were in the friend group or not, or knew actually these people, it's just funny to me that it's Dan and he's doing really well with it. I don't know why. I'm just like, I can't get my head wrapped around it, but.
I mean, everybody keeps saying he's a beautiful writer.
Right.
And it's just this point of view and this perspective. But it also goes to show you can get everything you want and then just be so alone in
it gets stripped right away from you. And so Alessandra, his, I guess, now agent, tells him she loves the aspect of Dylan Hunter and how he's left with nobody at the end, which is really a foreshadow of how the episode's going to end. And she's like, everyone thinks that they know him and no one really knows him at all. And he's left alone. I love it. She's like, what does she say? It slays. Right.
Oh, yeah. No, it slays me. It slays me. And all I could think about is sliving, which is Paris Hilton, slaying and living. That's her term. So she's sliving.
She's sliving.
Love Paris Hilton.
I love that word. I'm going to continue to use sliving.
Love some Paris.
Yes. So later on, there's a talk about, excuse me, I had to itch my nose, Dan having this release book party, and he's going to announce that he's actually the author because right now it's still anonymous. And so he asks for 6 copies to be hand-delivered to his friends and family because he hasn't told them about it yet. And so he brings everyone together. He addresses the book and said, look, I know it's anonymous, but it actually is me. And right at that moment, we have a quick scene of the book where the purple hue lighting, and it's Nate with his boyfriend or his lover. And it was funny. And then we pan to Lily reading it, and she's laughing. And Nate's like, what? Like, what happened? I don't get it. And Chuck's like, you're gay in the book. Like, just cracked me up. And he didn't even care. He's like, as long as I got game, that's cool. Like,
yeah,
it's
that's
fine.
all he cares about.
Yeah. So I loved that we got to see these like scenes throughout the day. So Dan happens to mention to Blair, like, that excerpt that I got scratched, it's in this book still. And she's like, yeah, I figured. I'm just not going to read it. And I would love to just not know anything about it since I'm sure it's a negative piece on me. Later on, Chuck and Padge are speaking, and Chuck's like actually really lighthearted about how Dan has wrote him and his character arc. And Dan's like, I don't understand, like, your character dies, why are you so positive about it? And he's like, oh, it's fiction, like, and everyone loves a villain and it's fine, and I just, everyone will get over it. And he's like, don't worry about it so much. And at that time, Dan's getting all these RSVPs for the party because he didn't know if people were going to go after reading the book. Are they going to be upset with him? But people are RSVPing. And so it's time for Dan's reveal party. He arrives super early, so they have to keep him hidden in this room. And Alessandra's telling him, oh, you need to sign the copies of the book. And so while he's in there, all of his friends and family start to arrive. And now, mind you, throughout the day, they have been reading his book.
Don't you think it would have been bigger impact if they actually didn't meet the author.
The all of the people in this room.
Yes. Like, what if you didn't have this big reveal party, and let's keep
Right.
more of a mystery of who is Dylan Hunter? Who is Dylan Hunter, right? Who is this anonymous? I mean, the book comes out, there's a launch party, you know who he is. You know who the author is.
Right. They could have like,
It kind of ruins it.
yeah, and they could have spun this where it would be more buzz if they potentially could write another book about
Yes.
it, or like chapters here and there can get released about what are these people are up to in their scandals. So yeah, I mean, I guess for like the publisher, and you know, his agent, everyone was like super excited about it, but
And
I think it would have been a lot more of an allure if we didn't know it was him.
Right, and maybe it's also more of an allure because he is so young.
Yeah.
You know, this accomplished writer at 19. He's 19, right?
Yeah, he's
20,
19. He's 19.
He's young.
He's young. He's still a baby.
And not to say you can have great works of art at a young age, but also that's also critically acclaimed of like, wow, first time writing, look at this book, look where it got.
Right.
And it also, again, I'm going to go for a reach, but I know Vanessa's no longer with us.
Right.
But we could have seen some sort of exchange or email or deleted scene of like, hey V, not happy with what you did, but my book was released. Not sure if you saw.
Right.
Here's a signed copy.
Maybe he and he very well might have, in a perfect world, sent her a copy of it. I'm sure he did. But of course we don't see that.
So does this now make him, well, it sounds like his book is selling very well.
Right. So it's like,
is he going to make some money from this?
Right. He very well can make a lot of money from this. I mean, temporary money, I'm sure, because people
Right.
eventually are probably going to stop caring about it.
And also, is he still in school?
Is any of them still in
All right.
school?
Yeah, you know, I just had to put that out there.
It's, I think, like, it's a joke of the show of, like, it's like they kind of all just disperse and nobody really ever knows if they graduate from college, and it's not really what the writers were focusing on. So it's Gossip Girl. Just gotta take it for what it is. So all of his friends, his pissed off friends, start to arrive, except for Lily. God bless her heart. She's like, this is the best. I'm so proud. This is amazing. She's so sweet and adorable in this episode. And so they're all like, I can't believe you did this. And Blair's yelling at him and Serena's yelling at him. And Dan's on the phone with Nate, who says, I'm not coming because you completely eliminated me as a character. You meshed me with Eric. How insulting. I'm supposed to be like one of your best friends. And Dan's trying to explain himself, but of course Blair and Serena are there, and they're the more important ones, as Nate says. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was not good. And so Blair just flat out says, I can't believe you would write that we had sex. And Serena's like, oh my God, you guys had sex. And Blair's like, of course not. And then Louis comes in. He's like, of course they did. Because Dan didn't want this part of his book to come out, and he didn't want me to read it. So now we get confirmation that Louis never read it.
Yeah.
And so now he's reading this chapter for the first time, and it's a pretty steamy sex scene. I mean, not the sex part, but like we know what's going to happen.
Yeah. If you were Louis and you were told, hey, I got to kill this story because it's about Blair, please don't read it, would you have read it the first time around?
I mean, I guess not, but it would be so hard not to.
Would you give
I would like to say I wouldn't read it.
Would you give it to someone to read for you and they brief you? Like, I know in our circle of friends, I know a couple of people who would 100% read it.
Yeah.
Like, if it was in their position, I probably wouldn't because
we have like that like little angel devil on our shoulders at all time. Like, no,
and I'm
you
also
shouldn't.
like karma.
It's
So
absolutely
stupid, but that's like my thought process.
no, I get it.
But then there's some people like, give it to me. Of course I would read it, and I'll just
Right.
lie about it.
Right. Yeah. Ooh,
I don't know.
That's a really dicey situation. I'd like to say that I wouldn't read it, but I would have loved to have read it. You know?
Well, now it was read.
And now, especially knowing that there's so much in this book. And so Louis, I don't know if he just like flipped through. There's no way these people had all this time during the day to just read Dan's book.
Well, some people read the whole book, and then they
Some
said they
people
only
read chapters. Their chapters.
only the chapters they were in.
Right. which is like conceited much.
I don't know. I'd probably do the same thing, but don't
Yeah.
you think Serena's in through the whole book? I would think she's in it from start to finish.
Yeah.
Sabrina. I'm sorry.
Sabrina. And I think Claire, who is Blair, is probably in it for the whole book too. The two women that surround his life, at least at the moment. So it's pretty, I mean, yeah, they're like the stars of the book, including Dylan Hunter as well.
Do you think Dylan included his threesome at college?
Oh, God, I hope not.
I mean, it
I
spice
sure
up his
hope
life.
not.
He probably did.
Yeah. And so, like, Dan's argument to all of this is like, my character looks way worse than all of you guys. Like, Serena gets so upset with her portrayal, and Blair gets so upset you're going to ruin my engagement because Louise storms off. And so at that point, it's just Dan and Serena left. And Serena is so infuriated. She couldn't believe that this person who she once loved was like the love of her life, and she thought he was reciprocating that, has like these really low opinions of her, and like the way she wanted to be in high school. She thought he was the only one that could see that she wanted to be different. And it was like he was just like everyone else. And that like really is hurtful.
It is.
But it still doesn't take away the fact that the entire day Serena's like, everyone needs to be knocked down a peg. Serena, you need to be knocked down a peg.
Listen, I love a confident girl.
Me
Love the confidence.
too.
She owns it and lights up a room. She works it. But
Yes.
she was just very, 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 very full of herself.
She
in
was
this
a
episode.
little vain. Yeah. She was like, oh, yeah, I'm Sabrina. Haha. I totally transform into this beautiful butterfly. Keep reading. And then the guy's like, no, you don't. Good try.
Yeah, I have some words when we get to Serena.
Yes, me too. But Dan says to Serena, which I was surprised of, like, didn't really didn't really understand where she was coming from, and said like, I need to go run after Blair. And me hearing that, I'm like, ouch, you have to go run after Blair after like Serena just heard that you wrote a sex scene about you and Blair. Like, how hurtful, first of all.
Yeah, well, I think he had the point of saying, I'm about to ruin her engagement. And he also knows she's pregnant.
Yes, he does.
Serena doesn't know that.
At this moment, she doesn't. Yeah.
And it also just looks like, okay, Serena, you're upset. But they don't talk. They don't know that her job could be in jeopardy.
Right.
So he's been more involved in Blair's life than Serena's.
He has. And it's very noticeable. And I think Serena's starting to like really realize that. And Blair's realizing like Serena's not around. Like, Serena's really doing her own thing right now. And like, we should be proud of her. She got a job on her own volition. Like, she did it herself.
Right.
And she's working really hard. But she doesn't really have like these relationships with people anymore. So Dan and Blair got super close. And now it's funny because Chuck and Dan are starting to be on good terms. And Nate and Dan were always close from, at least season 3. So like, Serena's kind of like the one who's on the outside now. And it's just like, it's interesting. I mean, I'm glad that she's not wrapped up in a boy. It's so refreshing to see her like this. So I'm glad, if anything, that this is like her storyline.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take this as a Serena storyline. I like this.
Me too. And I think it's fun to see a little bit of a play of, let's see Padge and Chuck as friends.
Yeah.
Let's see Padge and Blair and have our pair. Those pairings,
they're good. They're interesting.
they're really good. And I like Puck.
Yeah, I like Puck. Of course, I do. I love Pear. I just love Pear. I love
We
Pear
know. Everybody
so
knows
much.
how we live.
So
Pear.
it's hard, and I know there's those Sag people out there, you Sag bros, and it's like, I'm not even trying to diminish Sag. It's just like, I don't even remember Sag. There's not even like a friendship there anymore.
There's not even. I can't even compare it because I feel the chemistry is not there.
It's not there. And it's
just
funny because I think,
not.
if anything, I think Dan is so preoccupied with Blair that even if Serena's like, I feel like she could be potentially like, it's Serena like, oh, if Dan ever wanted to get back together at this moment, I totally would.
Right.
But I don't think Dan's head is there. But I feel like Serena's always like teetering on that when she's single.
I could.
It's terrible.
And would.
I could and would. And so I feel like she was really hurt. And Dan was kind of like, well, get over it.
Well, she also was the apple of his eye, and she knew that, and she used that
she
to
expected it.
She expected it, and she would use it to her advantage.
Yes.
So now that it's not seen that way, she's like, oh shit, what do you mean? Are you kidding?
She's like, damn it, you think I'm flaky and sex driven and just a tall blonde with legs, which he wrote, and that's unfortunate and sad for their relationship. So it'd be interesting to see what happens now with everything. But Dan, then everyone leaves and Dan heads out to his party, and of course he's in a room with all these strangers and everyone's clapping and applauding and you know, recognizing that he had this amazing book and like, yay for you, and there's no one, friends and family there to celebrate with him. Later on, he's at the loft and he's reading all these reviews, more ridiculously positive reviews about how he's like, you know, this like kid star writer about the satire of the Upper East Side. And Rufus, you can tell he like wants to say something, and Dan's like, oh, what happened? Like, just say it to me. And Rufus is just so hurt by his portrayal in the book. And he's like, I didn't want to ruin your night last night, but I am super hurt that you think I'm just this guy who became a dad and then just was a has-been, turned into a trophy wife, essentially, and I married for money. And Dan's like, that's not how I see you. But Rufus is like, oh, well,
you wrote it.
Like, that's how you wrote it. So there has to be some truth there.
Now, it seems the only person who's not upset that we've seen is Lily.
Lily, right. Like, what did he write about Lily? She's got so much dirt. But then it's Lily, and Lily always owns her shit.
That's what I was going to say.
That's it. She owns her shit. She's probably like, yeah, I fucking did all of that. Thanks for writing it, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so proud of you, honey. You so make proud. That coin and you get in those papers.
Like, if you have to use me, that's great. Get your money.
I think she's just, yes, this was me and this is how it was done. And
yeah, which super respect for that.
Yeah.
At least she can never say she doesn't own it.
Right.
And then we have the last scene with Dan. Alessandra calls him. He's got apparently a book reading in Barnes and Noble or something like that. And she's like, how many tickets do I need to set aside? And he's like, actually none, because nobody is talking to him right now.
Yeah.
And that is exactly where we open up in the show, is Dan or Dylan having everyone they're just gone, and he's left by himself because he's pretty much destroyed his relationships with everyone in his life. And that's exactly what happened to Dan. And that is Inside. Blair, she and Louis are going to tell their families about their wonderful pregnancy news. They plan on having dinner with everyone that night. Blair is hesitant that Sophie will not approve, but Louis is like, oh, I promise she's going to be over the moon. This is an heir to the throne. Like, and Blair's like, you're right. Like, I have an heir to the throne in my stomach right now. It's a lot of freaking pressure. She's also been dying to tell Serena, and she hasn't really gotten the right opportunity yet. And she keeps trying to tell her. But as we know, Serena's super busy with work, and Blair is super busy napping and being pregnant. So Blair heads to the Vanderwoodsons because everyone is summoned, and so is Chuck, and they run into each other, and they have like a brief nice moment of how are you doing, and he's walking his dog Monkey, which Jess actually sent us an email and reminded me that he had a monkey in the book, hence why they called him the dog Monkey. I was like, oh yeah, they did say that. So I thought that was clever.
It is clever.
Yeah. So the dog ends up getting Blair like all tangled up, and she falls into Chuck's arms, and it's like a sweet moment. And of course, this girl randomly gets it and posts it on Gossip Girl.
Such an awkward catch.
And the way she was holding her phone was so weird.
So weird.
It was just so weird. And I'm like, of course, Chuck and Blair are in each other's arms at that point. And so it gets posted on Gossip Girl, and Louis sees it, and he's pissed because he thinks, oh, that's who you needed to go see, Chuck? Are we going to name our son Charles? And he's pissed about it. And Blair is like, look, you need to trust me. Like, you know, there's nothing going on with Chuck and I. And we were just there. And, you know, there's more things that are important. I wanted to tell Serena about my pregnancy. And then she's like, and then there's Dan's book. And he's like, well, I really want to read it. And she's like, you definitely shouldn't read it, because it's going to be really negative about me. I'm just sure of it. And Dan has no imagination anyway, so I'm sure it's just not even that good.
Yeah, and she says, I'm not even going to read it.
Yeah,
don't even waste your time.
And then, of course, she goes for a nap and then heads downstairs after. You can tell Louis is obviously upset, and he lies to her about his family coming. And Blair knows that he's lying because she checked the weather numerous times because of these crocodile Elias shoes that she needs to wear. And she's like, oh, I can't believe he just lied to me. And she's talking to Dorota, and Dorota's like, well, he was reading the book. And Laura's like, well, shit.
Book.
She's like, let me see where he is. So she picks up the page that he's on, and she's like, what the hell? Infuriated. And so we have this wonderful bear scene
I actually
play out. It was very over the top.
And I don't think it didn't even fill my pear heart.
No, because we knew it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Like you could tell because the lights were the purple again. You're like, wait. And Dan comes running in, and Blair and him are like, this is not going to work. But of course they kiss, and they're going to have sex. And so Louis has read this part of the book, and Blair reads it. She's disgusted. Just so funny. And so later on, we know Louis storms off on Blair at the party, and Louis has a scene with Chuck outside, and Chuck's like, you're an idiot. Like, why are you leaving Blair? Like, you know she's going to have her secrets. You know, it's Blair. Like, it's Blair.
It's a really good scene.
It was a really good scene. And Louis is like, well, every time she has a secret, there's just another one that comes after that. And Chuck's like, you have it all. You have love, and you have Blair. Just be happy with that. Like, just trust her.
He had a really good quote
about the fiction.
Yeah, don't give up your own fact for someone else's fiction.
It's someone else's fiction. And so I'm like, Louis, what do you must you think about Dan at this point? Dan is always there. I know we talked about this a couple of times. But he is always there, and he's writing a sex scene between him and Blair. Like, this guy has it bad for her. And I wonder, I'm just so curious about what everyone else thinks about this.
Well, also,
like, they're enemies. I mean, I know, like, right now they're on good terms, and people can see that they're on good terms.
Wait,
but,
who's
like,
on good terms?
Blair and Dan.
Right.
But it's like, what did people think about this?
Well, also the fact that Padge has been around so much, you forget that Chuck and Blair had issues.
Yeah.
In a way, right? Like, and Louis is just trying to really stay calm and really trust her because Chuck used to be the issue. And
right. Used to be Chuck, and Chuck's not really involved in any of this anymore.
Like, oh, actually, Padge, what's your deal?
He's the issue.
What's your deal?
He's getting involved, and you know, it's funny because it's actually not Chuck, and Chuck is the having the words of wisdom here, and he's like, just be with Blair. If this is what you want, you need to just trust her. Like, what she's gonna say, you need to trust it. And then Chuck's like, basically, you don't want to end up alone and dead like me. Like, don't listen to what I have to say. Like, before, you know, beforehand when him and I guess Louis had that conversation last season, right? The end of last season. Okay, so anyway, the next day, Blair and Serena are talking about how Louis has not returned Blair's calls after the party, and at that point she does tell Serena she's pregnant, and Serena's super happy for her, and Louis ends up showing up anyway, lurking in the background. Michelle and I were like, he's just always like eavesdropping on people. He's just coming in. He's like, well, here I am.
Always there at the right time.
I forgive you. Yeah. But he apologizes. He feels like an asshole because he's trying to trust Blair, but every time he does, she has another lie. And she's like, look, I need to give you an ultimatum. Be like, you gave me, and it's either you trust me fully or we're not going to work. And he's like, well, I'm never going to leave you. So we're good. And they hug, and it's, you know, he's never going to let her go.
It's all good again.
Right. For how long? For how long? Exactly. Okay, on to Serena. She's hard at work for Jane, her boss. And we also meet her coworker, Sam. I forgot his name is Sam. And Serena has been working on getting Daniel Day-Lewis to read a script for a movie that Jane is working on. And Jane's really impressed by Serena's initiative and how she's working it. And apparently Serena sent this like specialty Irish flower to Daniel Day-Lewis's
it goes
house.
with the script.
Yeah. And she's like, I thought that would be a good touch. And Jane just really she's like, yeah, I like where you're going with this. So later on, Serena hasn't read Padge's book, but she's so quick to tell her coworkers, like, yeah, I used to date him. I'm Sabrina. And they're like, wait, what? You're Sabrina? I'm just stunned that you're the leggy blonde from Inside. He loves the tea, this guy, Sam. It's so funny. So after that, she's making good headway with Daniel Day-Lewis, and Sam says, wow, I guess things really do come easy to the blonde bombshell that's inside. And Serena's like, keep reading, because it seems as though Dan has not pegged me in a good light, and like that was just high school. Like, keep going. I'm gonna get better.
Just wait till you see how he writes me as I get older.
Exactly. She's waiting for that, and she's I'm confident Dan's gonna write me in that have growth, and that I really did grow up. So later in the day, Daniel Day-Lewis ends up canceling. Well, his agent cancels on Serena because of Sabrina, which is crazy. The flaky, party obsessed girl. They don't want to work with her. They don't like the drama. So she ends up reading Dan's book and is like, what the hell?
We have to back up for a sec.
Yeah.
Because I just find it a little ridiculous that Daniel Day-Lewis or whomever doesn't want to work with Jane because of her assistant.
Right. It's a little silly.
Of a book, fictional character based off of.
Right.
Come on.
We're
putting a lot of weight into Serena.
Exactly. I feel like, isn't that always the way, though?
It is, though, but especially here, I mean, we can't trust Jane. We're not going to even trust this woman who's been in the business, I'm assuming, for
a long time.
X amount of years. We're going to go with the assistant who's been with her for
5 minutes?
5 months? Like, what?
Yeah. I know. It's a little hard to believe. A lot hard to believe. But I guess for storyline purposes, we needed to knock down Serena or Sabrina on her butt.
Right.
And so she storms out. She ends up bumping into this very handsome man, but gets really pissed at him. And then we have a very similar scene where it's from the book. She bumps into him and they're really flirty and they leave to go get a drink together. And she's just like pissed that this is how Dan has still wrote. Like, this is still her MO is I'm flirting, I'm flaky. And that's really Serena. And so all this stuff comes out. They have their fight. And Jane instructs Serena, you need to get the movie rights to Inside because I want it. He's your friend. Whatever happened, you need to fix it because that's mine.
See, that really sucks too. She's like, you have a week. And it's kind of in this very uncomfortable because regardless of how we feel Serena's feeling, reading this about herself, reading like the worst parts, maybe her insecurities now on paper for everyone to read.
Yeah.
Like, it's so close to her and it's so uncomfortable now in a hurtful place, and now your job is threatened. So you have to go and relive this and make nice for your job. That sucks.
It sucks.
And I don't like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess right now it's part of her job and it sucks.
I know, but you shouldn't have to be made to feel uncomfortable in order to keep your job.
Mm-hmm.
You
know who else is uncomfortable in her new job is going to be Ivy. We're going to get to Ivy. Chivy. So on to Nate's storyline and Chivy's storyline. At the Spectator, Diana and Nate are looking through all these pictures that they have stolen from people's phones. They're like, these are the ones that they're going to post on their website, and they're trying to find the best piece of tea for the newspaper. And they're still in the possession of Ivy's phone, which keeps ringing because Ivy doesn't know where her phone is. And Diana just has a feeling, I know there's something with this Ivy phone. And so she's keeping it. So then Nate's looking through all the contacts and he recognizes a phone number. And I'm like, what? At that point, 2009, 8, 7, 6, 11.
You okay?
Yeah. we would know all of our friends' numbers more so. Now forget it. There's lots of numbers that we come in contact to we would not know. But like there was I had like probably at least 25 people when I was getting my new cell phone. Like I already knew their numbers.
25 people?
I'm good with like remembering numbers like that though.
I still know.
Like I still remember your house phone number.
Yes. And I remember one of my best friend's house. I remember my ex-boyfriend's cell phone number.
Yeah, I could definitely remember my ex-boyfriend's cell phone number.
Yeah.
If I really thought about it at the moment.
Yeah, and I struggle with aunts, but now I finally have aunts. But, back then, you had to know phone numbers.
Yeah, so Nate, good old Nate, he recognized it was Serena's phone number on this person's phone, on Ivy's phone. So Ivy is frantically looking for her phone. She keeps calling for it. Lily's like, just get a new one. Like, you're in the Upper East Side now. And she's like, no, my actual like real life is on this phone, which is like smart of her. She doesn't save anyone's numbers,
Right.
you know, like to the contact itself. So that really would have been, ooh,
Yeah.
imagine if she saved all these people. So Nate heads to the Vanderwoodsons because of the Dan text about the book. And he's like, hey, Serena, do you know an Ivy? And of course, Serena doesn't know the Ivy. But she's like, why don't we, you know, call it and we'll find out, you know, who's ringing my phone. And of course, at that moment, Dan walks in. So Ivy's like, oh, okay, I'm good for like a minute. And even when Dan's announcing his book, she's like, is this about me?
I know.
she's just like on edge at all times. So she tries to feel out Nate about the phone situation. She's like, I can help you. Let me help. I think I met an Ivy at the party. Of course you did.
You did, Chivy.
Of course you did. And he's like, yeah, sure. So he brings her to the Spectator and they're going through all these, you know, people's photos of who could potentially be Ivy. She said it was a blonde, Botoxy
boobs.
He's like, well, that's everyone at the party. And so Diana's there and she's like, what's happening? Doesn't like that. Ivy is obviously, or Chivy is in her office, but she knows, you could just tell. She's like, something's up with this. So Ivy's getting ready for the launch party. Diana calls her and she is already like, oh, hey, Charlie, I met you this morning, but your name's actually Ivy. I mean, like, Ivy took the phone back.
She did.
They were going to know.
Right. Like, you were the last person to see the phone and now it's gone.
Now it's gone. We know Nate doesn't have it. Diana doesn't have it. So, like, obviously Chivy was the one to take the phone. And Diana's like, hello.
Right.
I know you. And I know you've been hiding lots of things.
Right.
So Ivy's basically forced to tell her the whole situation of how Carol paid her and what's happening. And Diana's like, oh, okay, well, I'll protect you as long as you want me to protect you.
Deal with the devil.
Yeah. And Ivy's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And so later you see Diana's like, oh, Charlie got a job here. Nate, can you show her around? And he's like, yeah, something's definitely going on here, but I'm not really going to ask any questions about it just yet. And so he's showing her around, and
she reminds me of in Once Upon a Time, Rumpelstiltskin, and when you would make deals.
Oh yeah,
with him.
Remember that show?
Yeah, I liked that for a
hot
hot minute.
Yeah, I watched like 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But she reminds me of that.
Yeah,
you have to you'll be protected, but you have to make deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I've light prediction. I told Liz while we we're watching, I'm like, she's going to be on the inside getting some gossip and juice and be fed. And Nate will be like, how are you hearing this? Or we can't run this because those are my friends.
Right. But they're not Ivy's friends.
They're not.
I mean, as much as she has loyalty to them, she doesn't.
She doesn't. But Nate will fight and be like, no. Because even Diana's like, oh, I wish we had Blair's phone. He's like, no, my friends are off limits.
That's it, yeah.
But actually now Nate is pissed off. So
with Dan.
With Padge, though.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. We have, lastly, just to sum up, Chuck had 2 individual scenes. So Chuck meets Alessandra at the book launch, which is really funny. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you're even here. After your whole portrayal and your death and how sad your life was in the book and how lonely you were. And apparently it seems as though he hung himself, right?
Yeah.
Which is devastating.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, my staff would have found me quick enough. And she's like, wow, staff, you don't even have friends or family.
Jeez.
And he's like, yeah, okay, that hurts.
Yeah.
Like finally starting to feel again, which is great. And then we have the last scene where Chuck, he goes to see Lily, who's like so happy to see him. Like, oh, my son, like we haven't caught up in a long time. And he's like, wow, I just don't want to be that guy that people don't care if he lives or dies. I'm like, good for you, Chuck. And Lily's like, well, people love you. You just need to like actually accept that and love them back and really just kind of like completely immerse yourself in these people.
So
like, I'm sorry you lost Blair, but you have other people who love you.
So episode 4 of season 5. Is this the turning point?
God,
of
I
Chuck?
hope so.
Because we're waiting for a turning point when Chuck becomes like, oh my God, he's the best.
Right. Like, I totally thought it was going to happen a lot earlier, but it hasn't
we
yet.
were tricked.
We were tricked.
He did become
we
better.
were certainly tricked.
I mean, people are complicated, so I get it, but is this truly the turning point?
Right. I would like to say that I hope it is. And
Okay.
And from now on, I look forward to a potential Chuck just kind of turn around.
All right.
Positive.
Okay.
Because I did enjoy him.
Yeah.
Hard for me to say enjoy, but I liked his character in this
trigger
episode.
me.
He didn't repulse me
No.
whatsoever. Like, I watched him. I was like, okay, this is good. We like you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
We'll see how we feel next week.
Right.
But we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with our segments. Okay, welcome back from your break. We're going to have some trivia moments.
Trivia moment? Is that what you said? You're trying to be sultry? I'm like, wait, what?
I was trying to just be me.
Oh, you are always you. You don't have to
No, I'm
try.
actually like getting like that loopiness, so I'm going to just ignore. I don't know.
Is it the coffee?
Maybe.
She's getting the
Scotty
giggles?
P, what did you put in your coffee?
Yo, Scotty P.
Scotty P.
What's
I
in
just
that
think
coffee?
it's so funny. Right. The way there's just Scotty P. Anyway, okay, so trivia. 1.16 million views. The front cover of Daniel's book, Inside, is the front cover of the first book of the Gossip Girl series.
Really?
Apparently.
Well, I listened to it, so I don't.
Right, so you don't know what
Yeah.
it looked like. But yeah, that's the cover with like people's like legs and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's based off the movie Memoirs of an Invisible Man. And in the scene of Blair and Serena talking in Blair's room the day after Dan's book party, you can see up on a shelf in the background that Blair has a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah.
Dan and Blair are the only characters in the series to have Cabbage Patch dolls in their rooms as teens and adults. I'm like, that says something right there. Pair for life.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that weird thing that Patch had
Cedric,
on his bed.
Cedric, his Cabbage Patch doll.
Right.
Yeah.
Throwback
To season 1.
Whoa.
Tish has one deleted scene where Diana calls Nate looking for the phone. He said he left it on the desk, and then Diana says, oh, I must have misplaced it. Then she asks Nate about Serena's cousin Charlie, and it cuts to a photo of Charlie Ivy on her computer screen. Okay.
We didn't even touch upon that, about her research.
Yeah, right? Like,
What did you find?
What could you have possibly found? I guess if you were to actually look up the real Charlie Rhodes or Charlotte Rhodes, what would it say about her? I don't know. And like, would there be a picture of her?
Well, and then I guess if you cross-referenced with Gossip Girl, because Gossip Girl covered Ivy. I mean, Charlie.
Yeah, she did.
Right, with the whole last year
I guess
thing.
so. I mean, to an extent. I mean, she's Serena's cousin, so I'm sure she was in there a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just curious about what her research was.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll never know. We had some music by Ida Maria, My Gold Mask, Delta Spirit, and Chase and Status. Okay, questions. Mike, do you think Diana will keep Chivy's secret, or will her knowing only make it come to light quicker?
She's going to use it to her advantage, and then she'll expose it when
the time is right.
And Chivy, she's used up her worth.
Are you still on the episode 11-ish? Well, I know you said episode 7. Are you still on episode 7 of us finding out who?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike wants to know, how was Michelle during the juicy pear kiss? Did her head pop off or explode?
I was screaming, but what the fuck is happening? I didn't like it. And I love me a pear moment.
Me too.
But it wasn't the pear that we know and love.
Right.
It was fake pear, so it was faux pear.
It was a faux pear.
It was a faux pear.
You're right.
I don't like a faux pear.
Will says, how many episodes do we think everyone will be mad at Padge before they forgive him, or will some of the characters never forgive him?
Probably like 2. I don't think this is going to go on for very long because now Serena needs to get the book. And I feel like Blair's going to be like, I'm pregnant. I'm not going to hold grudges. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Jess, what do you think Diana actually wants from Chivy? Why did she give her a job?
The hot goss. Like I said, someone on the inside now. Literally
She
living with the Humphrey Vanderwoodsons.
Yes,
Serena's
she is.
cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin.
In
quotes. So she can get all the dirt.
Right. Kim, am I thinking too much? Why is everyone talking about this book so seriously? You had to tweak it a bit to make it interesting. What do you ladies think? I mean, you already heard what I thought. I'm baffled that this is such a hit, but I feel like, yeah, I guess people would be interested in knowing these things.
Yeah, because in this world, everybody cares what Serena Vanderwoodson's doing. So then you're like, oh my God, this book is loosely inspired by, I'd read it.
I mean, but it's like essentially Gossip Girl then. I know it's tweaked in a narrative, obviously Dan's narrative of how he sees these people. And a lot more fiction to it. Like, obviously, we Nate's character and him and Blair and all that stuff. And Chuck and all the things that happen. But it's like, well, the scandalous stuff, like, we kind of already knew. I'm sure it was posted on Gossip Girl. Like, we knew Serena was a flaky girl who got married and dated 2 of her professors.
But the adults didn't.
I guess the adults didn't.
Right? Because only kids follow Gossip Girl.
True.
And so it's just an interesting piece to read, and maybe the way it was written, because everyone's like, he's such a beautiful writer.
Right.
Wow.
God, I wrote
use of words on paper. Love it.
Must read this book.
Yes.
Vic says, who do you think this book affects more?
I think it actually hurts his dad the most.
Right.
Because
I mean, it's definitely affected everyone.
Yes. But I don't know. I think as a dad, and you've done everything you could, you gave up everything to raise your kids, like he said. And he even says in the beginning of the episode how Padge and Jenny are his life. Right.
Like, I would give up anything for them. I love my kids.
And this is how you really view me? That's so upsetting.
Right. It is upsetting.
Because at the end of the day, Blair...
She knew what she was getting.
She did.
Even though he didn't write a negative piece on her. No. He wrote this like praise piece, like a loving piece. Like, I love this person.
Right. And I wanted to engage in a way with them. But now things are better. Her and Louis are better.
Yeah.
And she's pregnant. Serena is probably hurt because this is the only person, her doormat essentially.
Yes.
Just ripped it right under her. And she's like, oh my God, I thought you worshipped me.
Right. I mean, remember that point, how could we forget, like, the whole Nate and Padge stuff and how they both worshipped her. Yeah. And she was like, you're good for the moment. You're good for the moment.
I'll just come back to you when I want you.
Yeah. And she finally had realized that she strung them along, which, yes, for growth that she did. But, like, you know, Dan didn't get over that. So he just kind of like harped and hugged onto that part of Serena and
I feel like Nate, once they have a conversation, be like, yo, bro, let's get some pizza and beers and let me explain it to you.
Yeah, Nate doesn't hold grudges.
He doesn't.
I mean, as far as we have seen. So I would be upset if you meshed me with like someone's little brother or little sister, and like, you know, that you had to cut back for character or storyline. I'd be like, wow, actually, fuck you. That sucks a little bit.
Right.
You know? So I get where he's coming from.
I totally do, but I don't think he will hold that long of a grudge. I think it will be Rufus will be the most disappointed and upset, and then Serena, because she's Serena.
Yeah. Vic also asks, if this were to happen on the OC, who would have wrote the book? I think Seth, 100%. I mean, yeah, Seth. I think it's Seth.
Taylor.
Oh, or Taylor.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good answer, Michelle.
Thanks.
Tish wants to know how long till Nate finds out the truth about Charlie Chivy Ivy.
I think like 6 or 7.
Oh, so Nate's going to find out with everyone else.
Or, close to it, 5 or 6, I think.
Okay.
Because I think, how long are we going to do this for? We're
I
going to
can't say
use
for
her
sure.
for a little bit, and then Nate will find out. That's it.
She's just kept nodding. She's like, that's it. Just keep going. Tish wants to know, if you were in Padge's book, what do you think your name would be, since he's not very creative?
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so funny story, actually. When I first got my debit card in high school, they spelt my name wrong, and it was Nushel. N with an N. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. And I didn't change it. I mean, now I'm regular, my actual name. I was like, Nichelle's kind of cool. So I bet I'd be Nichelle.
Nichelle or Mitchell.
I guess maybe I could be a guy.
They could turn you into a male and name you Mitchell.
Yeah.
I would be Ivy. You know what's funny? My mom almost named me Ivy.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. I was like, actually, I kind of like it. Like now, in 2021, I feel like it would be a cool name. I don't know about like in the 80s or 90s if it would be cool.
Alyssa to Ivy's way too creative.
It's a little too creative.
So you would be Melissa.
I was going to be Melissa.
You'd be Melissa and I would be Nushel.
I would definitely be Melissa, because everyone always thinks that's what I'm saying anyway. So Melissa and Nichelle.
Or Michaela.
Ooh, Michaela.
Which like Michelle in Italian, depending, is like Michaela. So.
Oh, yeah.
But I probably, if it's Padge, Nushel. With an N.
I love it. Yeah. She says, do you actually think the book will be turned into a movie?
Oh my gosh, here we go. I also said this while watching. Is this One Tree Hill? Are we doing this?
It is One Tree Hill.
Someone makes a book.
I'm just gonna say no. I don't have no idea, but I'm just predicting no.
I'm gonna hope for no.
Because no, what is this really One Tree Hill, that you become like a movie producer and then your book gets written to a movie? It's not realistic.
We're going to go through the casting process.
It's not realistic.
And then we're going to write it.
That's literally the last season of One Tree Hill. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, so. I don't either.
No thanks. What about some fashion? I loved Blair's. You know what? We were saying we loved the bottom of the blue and white dress. The top, not so much. And it's funny because I like the top of the other dress that she wore and not the bottom.
Agreed.
The bottom looked like a dance costume. Did not like it. Yeah, it was not good.
I like Lily's green dress.
Me too. I really liked her skirt at the end.
Yeah.
It had like those flaps on them.
I liked Blair's PJs. The black ones with the white lining.
Serena had two cream sweaters. She had a sweater that was cream and then a cream like tank.
Mm-hmm. The sweater tank.
Very cute.
Yeah.
I think that's all I had.
Yeah, me too.
Not much this episode. What about a quote?
Yes. Slays me.
I was just reading about how some pregnant women have mood swings. Apparently they didn't know you before the pregnancy. That was really funny.
Oh, morals. How quaint.
Yeah, I had that too. Juice Fast this week. Not going to be pretty.
I prefer Drama Princess now.
The last time he was this secretive, he showed up with a baby, which is so true.
I already said the quote earlier in the top of the show about the fact versus fiction.
Fiction, yeah. Well, isn't Humphrey becoming quite the drama queen?
I want the book.
Your novel seems to be very well punctuated, and I like the font.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
And my outfit for tonight's announcement includes a pair of Crocodile Elias. You can't wear such a beautiful shoe if there's a hint of a sprinkle outside.
So good.
So good. MVP and shittiest. I think I have an MVP and a blue ribbon.
For some reason, I have to write it. I always have to
write it down just to make sure you remember it.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually have a blue ribbon. Okay. I don't have a strong MVP.
Okay.
And I don't want my blue ribbon to be like the MVP.
Okay, so
I'm gonna just say my MVP and blue ribbon.
Okay. All right. So the countdown.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Rufus.
Chuck. Good
and my
one.
blue ribbon is Chuck.
My blue ribbon is Lily.
Aw,
yeah.
I like that.
Why did you pick Rufus?
I don't know. I just love how supportive he is. He was like, I'm so proud of you, son. And then I liked at the end of him being like, you're a beautiful writer, but you hurt my damn feelings.
Right? Like, come on, son.
Yeah. And Chuck, you know what? You were okay.
You were just okay in
You
this
were
episode.
okay this episode.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was toying back and forth. I didn't really know who to give it to, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it to Chuck. And we also had the most votes for Chuck this episode too. We did have a vote for Lily. But I just was like, you know what, Chuck? I felt more than nothing for him in this episode.
We're at a neutral.
We're at a neutral right now. So that's good.
Yeah, that's real good.
We're making our way.
Yeah, we are.
Shittiest. Could be a toss up here.
Eh.
Are you going with what I think you're gonna
Probably.
go with?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
3,
3, 2, 1, Diana. We did get more votes for Padge actually.
I don't make him the shittiest because he wrote the book. Like, I don't know. Should he be held accountable? Does this make him the shittiest? No.
I know it's hard. Because there's some shitty parts about it. The fact of how he wrote his friends.
Yeah, but
not truthfully. I mean, to an extent, like the truth hurts, obviously in Serena's part.
But it's not all true.
No,
it's just
not.
taken the worst parts of you.
Yep.
And like sensationalized them.
Yes. But I'm just curious. I don't know why. I'm just thinking like, is only Serena's parts like the actual, like he didn't really like fluff. Maybe he did. I guess he had to have.
Well, I think him and Chuck's are the most. Her and Chuck's is the most truthful.
Truth, yes.
Well, seen with the negative lens, maybe, and Blair was totally a surprising one.
Yeah.
And then Nate he's upset because he wasn't himself represented in the book, but he should be happy because he wasn't really represented in the book.
And it's funny because...
So is that a big compliment?
Yeah, Sean in our Discord chat tonight was like, funny how Nate kind of just like slides by and is invisible, kind of how his character is.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it actually is true to like...
Right.
You know, he's the fallback guy and he's the nice guy. That's who Nate is. So sorry that you're a little boring.
And also, you could probably get away with this because your name sounds nothing like your real name.
Exactly. So
Nate and Derek,
nobody would know who you are.
Eric and who's the D? It's not even Neric.
Right. It's not even a mashup of their names. It's just a play on Eric. So
right. So really, I don't know. As much as it does hurt that you're not represented, you're also not represented. So maybe that's a big compliment of, I actually had nothing bad to write about you.
Right. And like, I respect you more than these other people to like not even, it wasn't even a thought in there. Like, nothing you did was wrong or dramaful or,
So that's how I would take it. If that was explained to me, be like, okay, I guess that works.
Right. Like, because for us who are just these normal people, it would probably be the same situation. Like, there's nothing really in our lives where he wouldn't feel the need to write about it.
Yeah. Unless he was in love with one of us.
Exactly.
And then
which
would
is
be
so
thrown
true.
in.
Okay. Which totally would happen.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into a Betty of the week.
Yeah.
You're a total Betty. You're a total Betty. You're a total Betty.
This week I chose our lucky number 13, Rihanna. Rihanna, you girl have been with us for so long, since our Tree Hall Talk days, and we just appreciate and love you so much. You are very loyal and very true, and we love how much you participate, and we got to hang out with you actually in the Zoom last night, and it's just fun to get to know more of you and more of everyone, and I love how you guys love each other, and it's just makes us feel so good, and like You guys are just great. You're just the best. The best Betties we could ever ask for.
Love you, Rihanna.
Yeah.
And we love every one
We
of
do.
you in our Patreon family. And honestly, every episode is supported by you.
Yeah.
You guys make this show happen. It
You
makes our
do.
whole network happen.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate it. And if you're interested to see what else we do, check out patreon.com/Total Betty Podcast Network. It's a mouthful now.
It's a mouthful.
But the link is in the bio if you're lazy.
Yeah, it's all there for you. All of our links. Title for next week.
Oh my goodness.
Next week, you're going to enjoy for many reasons. And once I tell you the title, you are going to understand why. And I'm super excited because Jess is going to be on for this episode.
We have our patron, the first of the season.
First of the season, our first patron episode will be next week with Jess. Oh my God. And this is such a perfect episode.
Yay.
Because when I tell you the title, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is so perfect. So the title is The Fasting and the Furious. 3 Jews
Oh my God, is it
on a
Yom Kippur?
Jewish podcast episode.
Oh my God.
I am so fucking excited right now. Jess, how perfect was that? And I swear I didn't cheat. I picked and it was Jess and I'm like, 3 Jews on the Jewish podcast.
This is amazing.
It's amazing and it's Yom Kippur.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so excited for this episode. I was like, I was watching it the other night and Randy's like, why do you keep talking to yourself? Because I was just laughing and like all of like the Jewishisms. I was just like,
oh my goodness.
and Cyrus is in it.
Yes.
And, he has to be because he's the only
he's
Jewish
the resident
character.
Jew. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good episode.
Oh boy.
All right, so my 3 gossip words for next week are 3 gossip words. Pressure, psychology, deal. Multiple meanings in all of those.
All right. So the pressure coming from Serena's boss,
Jane,
and also Diana.
Yes.
Yeah. The psychology behind the characters in Dan's book, and also maybe a little bit with Chivy.
Okay.
And the deal. We need to land this deal. We need to get the book deal.
Some warm predictions there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe Padge and Serena are going to try to work out some kind of deal of like,
right.
we can work together, but at a distance. I need
to.
We can make you grow, but like maybe there has to be some kind of, if we make this into a movie, certain things need to be taken out, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What should we do as an emoji this week? I mean, last week I said we could do a book for this week since it's the launch of the book, but is that boring?
Well, I mean, we probably should do the book.
We can just do the book.
I mean, is there anything more juicy besides
a pear? Besides
well,
a
yeah.
juicy pear.
Besides the juicy. Hey, listen, send us the emojis. I mean, we get some.
Yeah, we want more.
It's been quiet, and here it comes. You're gonna skip over it.
You know what's gonna happen.
You know it's coming. We want you to leave us a review. I'm just gonna not even try to be cute about it. Not even to be cute. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts and you're really enjoying our show, consider rating us 5 stars and leaving us a review. If you're not enjoying the show, skip that part.
Just skip it.
I don't want to hear how you can't stand us or we're stupid or blah, 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 blah. Also, if you made it this far and you're listening, thanks for the download. But
yeah,
please leave us an Apple Podcast review. It really helps us. It makes us so excited when we get it and our show grows and then we show up more in the charts and then we're seen more and then we can go. You know the drill. Spiel.
We've said the process. You know the process that needs to happen in order for us to have our Gossip Girl love and platform and fam. Just everyone join us. We just want family. That's all.
It. We just want more friends.
We just need friends and
fans. So leave us that book emoji in an Apple Podcast review.
Yes.
Or you can send it to us, DM us, email us.
Right. Don't forget, Total Betty Podcast Network on Instagram. If you want to email us, it's still 3gossipgirlspod@gmail.com.
Little changes.
With the little emoji.
Yeah.
I have a Will's treat tonight. Gossip Girl characters as phone companies in honor of Nate being a burgeoning gossip king.
Ooh, Will.
We have Blair, T-Mobile, the most likable one with a come up from second best to the best thing in town. Forever I've called it Teen Mobile, like teen.
No,
I know it, like I know it's T-Mobile, but in my brain I will always call it Teen Mobile, even though I know that's not what it's called.
It's like your little pet name for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chuck, Verizon, obviously the richest of the rich, has come down to earth more as his competition has ramped up lately. Dan, Metro PCS, Metro phone for the Metro card carrying author. Serena, AT&T, good performance generally, but can be frustrating when she keeps having the same issues.
Yeah, tell me about AT&T.
Nate, Boost Mobile, does it have service? He's good with that. Rufus, Cricket, the other Metro card carrying network, and Humphrey. Lily, Sprint. Lily had storylines where she was Mr. Verizon's father with Mr. Verizon's father, Bart, but after she switched to Rufus and eventually lost any semblance of storyline, I think he meant resemblance, of a storyline, the only question I have is, can we hear her now? Yes. Good. So good. And Ivy, track phone. Ivy was paid by the minute and went off the grid once she was done doing her job, only to be picked up in a pinch. Always so good, Will.
Well, I have to say, this one might be my favorite.
These were some tough ones.
This is so creative
that
I would have never thought of. And it just reminded me back in, what year was it? When the boys went as all the phone.
I love that.
Do you remember the commercial?
Yes.
And it represented all the phone companies?
Yeah, what commercial was that, though?
I don't remember who.
It was like Best Buy, maybe, or something. And all four guys were in a different, 5 guys were in a different color shirt, and they were all representing their service.
Yeah.
And it had to have been like 09.
Or, yeah, because
08.
you went as Barbie. You and Sam.
Oh, and Barbie and Teresa. So that was like 09, 2010.
And I went as Sarah Palin,
Oh
which I was super proud of that costume.
That was awesome.
I should pull up that picture. If I find that picture, I will post it in our Patreon Discord.
Yeah.
Which is the best group chat ever. We offer that over
nonstop
on our Patreon
24-hour group chat. These
people are the best. Little plug there for our
sometimes Michelle and I text each other all the time, like, oh my god, did you see what so and so said? This is so sweet. This is such a sweet relationship here. And you guys are, you already know you're the best. Yeah, we love you.
If you're looking for some friends,
yeah,
our Patreon's where it's at. But yeah, that was a great costume.
It was a great costume. They were really perfect.
Yeah. Will, that was a great treat. I think every
really
week
was.
is so good, but this one I really, really liked. This one.
Me too. It was great.
Thank you.
And so if you're a newbie, this is where we leave you. We
it.
hope you had a great night and podcast experience. And we will be back for you next week with episode 5 and our patron Jess. But if you're going to After Dark,
here we go.
Just
get on
just
that
buckle in.
Here we go. Click, 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 click.
You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.
After Dark.
Oh my god.
You look so stressed out. She's grabbing her face.
Because I just don't even know what happened. It's like we both just blacked out with a
Sometimes noises just come out.
They just come out. But we're in After Dark,
All
guys.
right. So it's so clear, Padge is Gossip Girl. Why didn't they do this storyline
in the beginning?
No, I think at the end of
maybe
this series.
season 6,
I'd be
right?
like, oh, BT dub, since y'all hate me anyway, I'm actually Gossip Girl.
That would have been a good way to end it. I wonder if they didn't think they were getting a season 6.
Oh, good point.
I think that might have been the case, and then they kind of just signed on for 10 episodes, and that was it. So maybe this was their way of kind of summing up. Yeah, Dan is Gossip Girl. This is how we kind of lead into that.
Yeah.
But I truly don't know. I don't understand how people wouldn't realize that Dan is Gossip Girl. I'm trying to be as gentle talking about it as possible in the first half of this podcast.
Same.
Because It's very obvious.
Do you know how many times I wanted to say like, oh, well, this fits. This is so fitting.
Right.
It's like Gossip Girl was published in a book.
Right.
I
And then it's like, I wanted to say too, well, why did he make it into, like, if Dan is Gossip Girl, I'm just surprised that he like made it into these like fictional parts of it. Like, why didn't we just write down everything that we know? Well, I mean, that is Gossip Girl, but like the fact that you're writing a book about these people,
also,
like, you're already Gossip Girl. You already do that.
and I guess there's certain parts, maybe not, that if they really thought about it, there were things that Gossip Girl published that they thought only Gossip Girl knew. But yet Padge is writing about it. And so if you really just thought about it, it's like, holy shit, this lines up. This
Right.
cross-referenced each other.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And so maybe we'll eventually get into that. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Does this book stuff truly continue into more of this season? Or is like, it's something I feel is like the book itself will kind of like fade out, but the drama of what happened, I really don't know. I don't know where we're going with this.
And now it seems the way it ended that Padge kind of was like, oh, I know how to make it right. Is he going to write good stories about these people and trying to make it better? Inside the second edition.
Or like, I was gonna say maybe a Gossip Girl will be like nicer to these people, but I feel like Gossip Girl has been so quiet. I mean, I know she hasn't been because she's been narrating all these episodes, and like she still is happening because of the picture of like Chuck and Blair. Like, it's still going on. It's just not this like, oh my god, did you see what Gossip Girl wrote?
Well,
it's not like
they're
this,
adults.
they're adults.
Working,
they should
right?
be like, like preoccupied with work and family and friends and not focusing on drama, especially since these people are your best friends and family now. Like, there's not one person in this whole group that you don't really have a relationship with.
Right.
So the fact that you are allowing this to continue without like knocking down the site is kind of wrong.
Yeah. Right.
So it's not going to end well for Padge. I can't imagine.
No.
You know?
But you know how it ends for Padge.
I mean, I do. And so I'm still just like, huh? Okay.
Huh.
Sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I mean, I can wait for it, but I
know,
can't
because
wait
then
for
we're
it.
completely
Because
done.
then we're completely done
Which
with
is
Gossip
kind of
Girl.
sad. This
It
is
is sad.
This is a really fun show to bitch about.
It is.
It's such a gossipy, ridiculous show that is so fun to talk about. I was actually thinking about re-releasing or just like publishing it at the top. My first initial
We should do it. Yeah, we should definitely do it.
I don't know when we have because I don't want to, since we're all like after dark right now, this is all just
You guys did it all.
But or you can go back and listen to it. I was telling our Patreon, Discord group hang last night. I was telling Liz, I went back and listened to the first episode of this podcast, Michelle's Disintel, where Liz and Ingrid at the time was with us. They had me watch the trailer and I made predictions.
Yeah.
And not only are my predictions there, but also your thoughts and feelings about how like
I love Chuck.
you didn't say you love Chuck, but it's
Because we
quite
didn't
obvious.
want to tell you that
You're
we
like,
loved
"Oh my
him,
God,
and
my
I can't
crush."
believe I felt that way.
And you're like, I love this person. Like my crush changes so much, and it's just so good. The show is so good, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna love this show, which is I love it for a different reason, but
Yeah, totally. And it's
to talk about only.
Yeah, when Ingrid and I were coming off of, Tree Hill Talk and Let's Talk OC, and we were like, oh my god, Gossip Girl's gonna be, because we got so many requests for Gossip Girl.
So many.
And Ingrid and I did watch it. I mean, she finished the series, but I didn't. And we both at that time in our lives loved this show. And, as you get older, and obviously, I mean, we talk about this all the time, and your opinions really change when you have these life experiences and you grow and you see how toxic some things can be and luckily Joshua Safran is trying to correct those things in the reboot, and so I appreciate that. And it's like it's just a different experience, and I can't believe that I used to feel that way, just as I used to feel when we watched the OC for the first time. Like, I couldn't stand Marissa, and now 7 years later I'm like, no, Marissa's queen. Don't do anything to Marissa. Fuck you all that hate Marissa. Like, I am not one of you. Right. So it's just your opinions just totally change. Like, where you are in your life when you watch a show has a completely different, like, I'm sure I was like wanting to be in a relationship, and I was excited watching like Chuck and Blair and that first scene, you know, that their first sex scene in the limo. Like, why was that so epic to me? Like, ew, I don't care about that at all. I would actually rather see nothing less than just I don't even know. I would just whatever. But it's just funny. It's just really, really funny.
Well, yeah. So
I'm a cringy a little bit that I actually even said that. Both of us said that.
It's very funny, and just I was listening to it because I can't wait for you to make your predictions for our Friday Night Lights podcast that's coming soon. We're gonna be recording that trailer next week, actually. Listen, that won't be up. It won't be up for a little while, but Liz and I are going to record that next week. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear your predictions. And also, you know, I've only seen this show once.
Right.
So I'm going to be like,
and when did you start watching it?
I don't know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay.
Because I watched it when I used to go to ATX, and they were doing like the big Friday Night Lights event, and I did it before, so I, you know, could go to the stuff, which will make sense when we watch, and I'll point it out to you. Yes. Yeah. But it's a funny episode. If you miss our voices and you want to hear more, go back and listen to that episode. And
if you're caught up on all of our podcasts and on all your other podcasts, like, just go back and listen to the episode. It's fun because it's from like it's over 2 years ago at this point, right?
Yeah.
2018 did we start this podcast?
Yeah, I don't even know.
2019.
I'm so
same.
I'm very.
Hey, Mike, you want to?
Yeah, actually, Mike will know down.
Mike would know down to the minute, down to when we launched the episode.
Actually, Mike, I know you're still here, but we got off our hang last night, and I was like, Aunt, Mike brought up the Hamilton tickets for our anniversary. Aunt got me Hamilton tickets. I got Aunt boxers, right? I don't even remember telling this story.
I remember the story, but yes.
Well, I'm sure I told you. I didn't know I told it on Mike. And then Mike is like, yeah, you told it at this time.
He's like, it was the episode before Labor Day.
And I was like,
or after Labor Day.
And Aunt cracked up. I'm like, this kid doesn't forget
It's like
anything.
He's got a photographic memory.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I mean, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have been listening to us for a long time that like remember other things that we have said or like have held on to things, which is like the sweetest thing ever. But it's just so funny when you bring them up, and Michelle and I are like, when did we say that? What did we say? Yeah, especially those like Tree Hill Talk days. Couldn't tell you one thing I said on that entire podcast.
I don't really want to be remembered.
And I don't want to, I kind of just don't want to know what I said about it because...
Actually, you know what? You probably couldn't hear me. Because I was so low.
But
yes.
Like to make fun.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for making it this long. I'm excited for next week with Jess.
Me too. Next week is just...
episode.
It's a little bit lighter and kind of like a Thanksgiving vibe of the episode where it's a holiday and everyone gets together and there's drama, but it's great.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
Yeah. So looking forward to it with Jess, and we will be back next week. Episode 5. Yay. Thank you so much for listening to 3 Gossip Girls Podcast. You can email us at 3gossipgirlspod@gmail.com. Or if you want to follow this show and all of our others, you can head over to Instagram at Total Betty Podcast Network.
This has been a Total Betty podcast, produced and edited by Michelle Rubenstein and Alyssa Tenio, music by Anthony Vocora.